Harry, I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is September 16, 2025. It is 2:08 a.m. This is video number 3. What I'm gonna do here, there's some leftover tweets that I had bookmarked but never got a chance to record them. So let's go over them, okay? So this is a day after Harry's birthday. So I'm way behind, okay? I'm way behind. These are some stuff I never got a chance to record. Alright, first tweet. Alright, UK medias want to unmask Willy and Kate. One can feel it, but one can also feel their fear. The power of the royal family and media pack is mighty. Liz Jones and Amanda Platel are trying, but this isn't it. The laziness, the dysfunction, the divisiveness, the lies all need a deep dive. Okay, so this is a headline that was September 11, 5 days ago. Harry is doing everything right, and I'm overjoyed at his long-awaited reunion with Charles. Now William needs to get off his high horse. So there's that. Amanda Platel, William and Kate have become the prince and princess of boring. This is why they need to stop skulking around and take a leaf out of Harry's book or risk Charles' wrath. They trained them to be that way. In a way, allegedly. They're not even trying to unmask them. They just want to scare them into doing more, and they want more engagement, i.e. more leaks. You're right. I think the media should turn on them. They are lazy, and it needs to be said more often. Even better will be the media kissing Harry and Meghan's asses and publishing loads positive articles about them, as that will piss William and Kate off more. William hates Harry doing well, as we've seen this week. If they could just report on things, that's all we need. All this nonsense, the extra dramas, unnecessary personal things, it's uncalled for. All they need to do is report on things. There's so many things that's going on around the world they could report, but instead they're creating this distraction. All these are distractions. Okay? I hope people are paying attention to what's going on politically. I think France right now, there's issue going in France. Let me pause for a second. Okay, something like this. Breaking after France installed a Macron puppet and proposed to freeze pensions and slash €5 billion from health spending, the people have taken to the street to block everything. This is how it's done. First Nepal, now France, workers of the world unite. The thing that Trump did with Doge, did all of this nonsense. This is the thing they've been aiming at. Those rich, all the people's money, they want to take everything and then put people in a position where in need of them, and then when they give you little crumbs, and then all of a sudden you praise them. This is the blueprint of the UK. Okay, the UK knew this was gonna happen. This is why they took themselves. I know some people are saying the Brexit was planned or a while back or whatever. This is the tactic. They knew that was gonna happen. They planned for it. Okay, they want to put people in a position of need. I spoke about in the past where young people were doing business, connecting with other people around the world. I was mostly in the fitness kind of community on social media mostly. Okay, you see many of them creating business. They're doing meetups, they're doing things, they create business, connecting with people around the world. And then those rich and powerful was like, nope, this is not what they want. Okay, and then they do that 360, and then this is where we are. All right, let me show you. You know who's probably happy about that? Putin. If you look into, look at this, in France, all this is happening. The rich are just taking the people's money and then they're creating things. Europe faces not only political crisis but a profound economic instability and imperial decline. This conflict reflects a deep clash between citizens and their globalist political elites, fueled by domestic discontent and the prioritization of global financial institutions and corporate interests that put them into a brink of banking encirclement. Okay, so there's all of this that's going on. Why can't the tabloid talk about those things? Okay, instead of creating this distraction. I mean, the US, Trump is literally putting us in that position. Things were going fine, but when everything is said and done, what I see is happening here, especially what Trump has done. Okay, I didn't want this to be politics, but hey, here I am talking about it. There's a model that's going on here. What Trump has done, disrespecting every other group, now it's being, the US is being isolated. The same tactic can imply, okay, now the world is seeing what those white European people are all about. Before it was under the rug. They present themselves, white people present themselves as the model of, you know, this is the prestige of them, or what would be the word? The envy, okay? White people should have been the envy of the world. I'm just saying the mindset of them. What they are showing the world, even though this was within their psyche, the US is being isolated. The same thing can be applied where the rest of the world could isolate those European people, the white people, the US, the same way that they're doing here. And then the rest of the world could connect with itself. China, well, let's take it in terms of continents. Africa, Asia, some parts of South America, and some parts of the Caribbean can connect with each other, because when you look at the Europe, for instance, they're really not providing that much. Okay, it's the rest of the world that is keeping them alive in a way. So if they don't need the other groups, they want to be the ultimate, I don't know, the only existing type of human being to live on Earth, the rest of the world could ignore them, isolate themselves from them. Okay, Africa is doing its own thing. I think now Africa create its own digital infrastructure network, something like a platform that make up of Africa's internet kind of thing. A lot of African disconnect from Google, and pretty much the model, the system, you know, from the US and things like that. So other groups can connect with themselves and do their thing and just ignore the white people, because if they only know it's themselves, and when they see other group, they just want to hurt, do by barbaric stuff on them, the rest of the world could ignore them, because majority of people just want peace, but these people don't know peace. And the other thing that's happening here is that the US is pretty much highlighting for the rest of the world to see how the mindset of these people are, pretty much how their mindsets are. There's a lot of negativity that's going on in the US. There's so much to be said, but let's just put it as this, okay? Young people, especially white young people, many times when other people bring things about reparation, what they did to African Americans, okay, majority of them said that they're not responsible for what happened in the past. Okay, they were not there. Okay, so let's say fine. Okay, whether or not you agree with it, even though they are benefiting from the from what they did to African American, and they continue to benefit from it, let's push that aside. Let's talking about right now. What is happening right now in my lifetime? You get up, you go outside, you turn on the news. If they're actually reporting the actual news, you see the nonsense that's happening. And as far as I'm concerned, not too long ago or a day ago, 2 young men in Mississippi were hung. Okay? This is my lifetime right now. Now, there will not be any more excuses for young white men, white people in particular, okay, to say that they're not responsible for what is happening now. They are, if they don't put a stop to what is going on, or they let their voice heard and say they're not part of this, and try to work out whatever barbaric mentality they were raised on to stop it now, in the future, we could say, you were part of it. Now, this is your time for you to put a stop to it, because people like Trump, those old people, they are about to go. Okay? They want to make sure their craziness, their barbaric mindset to remain. Now, do you want this? I'm talking, when I say, do you, the young people, the white young men, do you want this to continue? Okay? Because now this is at your hand. Majority of African American, they want to push things aside. I'm not talking for everybody, okay? I'm just saying they want to, because of the reasoning that some young white people are saying they were not part of it, of the slavery and things like that. They want to move forward, but this is our time. This is your fault now. Whether or not you want to believe it, do you want this type of barbaric mentality continue? Because later on in the future, I could see the rest of the world will isolate you from them, because they are seeing the mindset, the barbaric, the behavior that you guys are accustomed to. You make it part of your, I guess, everyday type of thing. The moment you see a dark-skinned person, the evil within you come out. So eventually you will be isolated. Other groups wanted to work with you, but you are showing you do not want to work with other people. And then with what Trump is showing is that many of you don't know shit. You want handout, the things that you were pointing at other groups. With the way Trump has done is pretty much showing that some of the things they were blaming, like the DEI, people who's on welfare. Yeah, there are some minorities who were on welfare, but the majority are you guys. So it exposing some of you, showing the truth. You will be isolated in the future. Do you want this mindset to continue? Now you will be blamed for what is happening now. Okay, so let's get back to the original recording. Oh my God, 6 minutes into that extra thing here. All right, let's get back to the original recording. With India is in a lot of things. India and Africa and part of the Caribbean. Okay, I need to learn more about this thing. There's things that's going on in the Caribbean as well, and there's something I want to do regarding Haiti. Okay, the people that are there right now that's doing the bidding of those to create instability for the power hungry white people kind of thing, business people. I want to do something about that, but that's a different story. But the blueprint that is being shown here is that Trump has created a system of self-destruct and being isolated by the rest of the world. But the only thing that come out of that, the 92 percenters have shown the world they're not part of this kind of mindset. That's one thing that came out about it. So let's say if African American go to another country or something, at least that's, I'm just talking, but I cannot tell how people feel, but at least they will say, okay, these are probably part of the 92 percenters who then agree with the stupidity of the Trump MAGAs kind of thing. But Trump has put white people in a way, white Americans, in a way of being distasteful when they go outside of the US. Okay, so that's just me talking here. Hopefully you read what was on the screen. Let's go to the next tweet. That topic went completely 360. Next tweet. I put 2 links here. Okay, what is this about? Prince Harry really gave the sibling a masterclass, talking about when Harry was in the UK, the engagement that he did. Pretty much this is how you do it. Okay, Ginger really said, you're gonna learn today. A masterclass in work ethic, engagement, humanitarianism, philanthropy, all delivered with style. All week you could see the pain on Willy's face. Beautiful to see. The private anguish must be a sight to behold. Yep, there's me here. Yep, something I mentioned on another post. I think it fits perfectly with your tweet. Harry has been showing what royaling truly means, but the others only mimic the outward appearances, like the clothing, without engaging in the meaningful work that truly impact people's lives. In my opinion, the blame falls on men in grey suit and their team. There's more to it. And their team, British media, King Charles III was tame since toddler. Alright, you should know the whole story of this, how I come about. So there's some people who responded to my tweet here, but Charles and Philip did put the work in with their Prince's Trust and Duke of Edinburgh awards. Both did loads foreign tours, and Philip even helped starting World Wildlife Charity. This is where Harry gets his work ethic from, along with his mom and granny, William Denton. So there's me here agreeing with her. Alright, true. But there were boundaries within King Charles III and Prince Philip that the establishment didn't want them to cross. Boundaries mean to preserve the order or separation of things, all while maintaining their control of the system. Just saying. Okay, so she agreed with it. I don't know if it's her or someone else, but that's that. Okay, what else? Did he? There's the clap here. He's a pro at it. Super royal. Alright, next tweet. Alright, so this must be my comment, which I went in. Let's see here. Okay, so there's another one here. That's me under the someone I responded to, and I black. Let's see. What was that? Squaddies are the worst of humans. Okay, so this is what I responded to here. Willy Kate, is that you? If squaddies are the worst, why are you under their tweets? Squaddies can't be the worst if you're engaging under their tweets or conversation. There must be something that Sussex Squad are saying that are meaningful to you. The majority of Sussex Squad black people people like you because you have nothing to offer. Alright? Why the F are you here? There's that. Let's go to the next tweet. Okay. The squad are throwing shade. Has Mike Tindall arrived in Kyiv yet? Okay, so that's when Harry went to Ukraine, and there were some stuff that were saying a while back that they were trying to give Mike Tindall to take over Invictus. The tabloid, okay, the UK tabloid was doing nonsense. So this is in response to that. Has Mike Tindall arrived in Kyiv yet? There's the laugh here. He comes. Please, he is at a train station. Check local listing, lol. Wonder what they put on his board at the train station when he arrived. Grumping Royal. He misses his flight. My genuine reaction when I read this. Alright, there's that, lol. A senior golden boots Beckham. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. It says receipt. Sussex squad receipt. Okay, so I'm not gonna read all of this, but I'll put it on the screen so you could see. You could pause and read it. There was a time we ate and slept receipt. We did this for years to counter lies like this. No wonder they said we were paid to support. Hard time flies. Alright, let's go into that. She tagged somebody here. I know you want to be factual, so here goes. Piers Morgan is degenerate. Never texted or had drinks with Meghan. At most, he might have been at her suit press conference. What he's always been is a suit fanboy and a lying opportunist. Okay, you could pause and read this. This is the squad putting things. I don't know if I have time to do this. I'm telling you, the squad are something. Well organized squad is. Well organized squad is. Okay. Okay, so just pause and read. Now go back to Twitter. He issued a correction. That's the kind of a man he is. Did he do a correction video? Because it's kind of upsetting to see how many of his replies are from people who believe peace organs lie. Let's see, I can't remember if he posted or did a video, but it was a thorough apology. Okay, I didn't come across it. It's not about apology because it was an honest mistake on his part, unlike the liar Morgan. He has large enough audience and his persistent problem, so the correction with the proof will be nice, but Piers sounded so convincing and Meghan never contradicted him, so at first I thought it was partially true. Then someone laid out the timeline and I realized what a bloody liar he was. Okay, let's see here. There is no photo video of him at that press junket. He may have gone there and ended up at the hotel bar since he did not have an invite. She's quite the investigator, with dates to prove that Piers Morgan is a liar, with a fixation on our Meghan as if, lol. After these two, that's it. The lies has been useful to him to hide behind. While people have been busy thinking he's annoyed about being ghosted, they aren't working out that his annoyance comes from Harry suing the press and what that could mean for him. That's why he tried to discredit Harry and Meghan. Yeah, I think the next, the 2026 lawsuit, he might be, I don't know how he's gonna be involved in it, but whatever. This is really nice and good recap. Do you have any more on any fantasy stories? Alright, let me take a screenshot of that for future reference. But I'm done with this tweet. Let me pause. Alright, so I took a screenshot of it, save it for future reference. Let's go to the next tweet. Gifts. I think I covered this on one of my videos. Yeah, I covered that already. So let's leave that alone. It's on my previous recording. And you might see it on our Port of Pew service because of the video. Okay, more meltdowns for your entertainment. Let's see here. The squad with the screenshot. Harry has got what he wanted, half in and half out. You can say what you want, but the truth is he's doing whatever he wants. See him in Ukraine and see the Prime Minister. It's not a good look for a royal family. In my book, he won. Sad but true, sad and upset I am. They refuse to see reality, and when reality strikes, and this is the meltdown. I totally agree the Combs team is worth his money. The press has turned against William and Catherine and are sympathizing with Harry. He is going to destroy William and the monarchy he was to inherit. But sadly, the span of the failure of the monarchy will be pointed in William's direction. It's lost all respect for King Charles. He's had cancer, sure, but he's still the king. He is enabling Harry and putting William in a no-win situation. Sickening. The mindset. Still disappointed, upset, and said, "It's clear things are good now for the trader." Don't. How do the people understand the meaning of trader?
The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away, and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth, and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life. I was born into this life, and it is a great honour to serve my country and the Queen. It has been our privilege to serve you, and we will continue to lead a life of service. So in that respect, nothing changes. I will always have the utmost respect for my grandmother, my Commander-in-Chief, and I am incredibly grateful to her and the rest of my family for the support they have shown Meghan and I over the last few months. I will continue to be the same man who holds his country dear and dedicates his life to supporting the causes, charities, and military communities that are so important to me. Together, you have given me an education about living, and this role has taught me more about what is right and just than I could ever have imagined. We are taking a leap of faith, so thank you for giving me the courage to take this next step.
The trader. Do the people understand the meaning of trader? My goodness, don't matter the blackout and Twitter. The truth is this week was very good for the duo. Attention, a great PR with this last visit in Ukraine and all the niggas with him. William and Kate don't deserve this. Oh my God. Harry's doing good things. Charles is weak, always has been. He's jealous of his own son William. This has all the hallmark of collusion between Montecito, Meghan Montecito, is that what that means? UK press and Buckingham Palace. Charles since at least May. Harry has got his half out. Now he's working on his behalf and only William stand in his way. Okay, Harry is doing this because of his work. Alright, there's no half in or half out. And when Harry left, okay, that last speech he did at Santa Bali, he told us he will continue to do his work and associate and support the things that did to him, the military association and things like that. Did they listen? No. This is to confirm what he said at that speech. Not in your book he won. Chuck gives him whatever the hell he wants. What's this? 2026, they will all be on a balcony. What the hell is wrong with that balcony? I didn't realize they were practicing a blackout. There's that. But here they are banging on about him. They're really not a bright bunch, are they? Oh well, I wonder how they're going to feel when it dawned on them that Harry and Meghan don't even want a no part half in and half out or balcony. Kate trying to copy Sussex Quiet Mute Challenge, except they haven't stopped following Harry's every move and talking about him. I literally didn't talk about them at all, and I didn't have time anyway. LOL, a delight to see this. I do worry though, because the media and palatial corporates have stoked this deliberately, and therefore Harry and Meghan are put in high danger from a deranger who thinks they are defending the lazies, and it only takes one. Sickening. This is why we pray protection. Sadly, they will continue to stoke these friends of hate. What blackout? There's the laugh here. We didn't notice anything, laughing my ass off. They haven't stopped following and talking about him. These are so funny, and being on the balcony is a chore, not an honor. They truly are dullard. Whatever. Okay, so I see here UK media reports. Alright, let me see. 246. 6 more tweets regarding UK media report. Alright, so that was when the 13th. Okay, I didn't even bother report. I just put it on a list just to share with you here. I didn't even put it on my committee board. Okay, I'm sorry. Is this satire? Kate ties her hair back. How does she do it? Kate leaves everyone stunned as she ties her hair up without a tie. What the hell? That was September 12th. The Princess of Wales showed her hair trick during a visit at Kent yesterday. This is why the people are so done with these people. They make this a news, tying somebody's my god. Did they do it in response with that fake hair thing, or the wig that the squad were talking about? Kate's bow is so low and she uses it to her advantage. This wasn't a spontaneous, she never put her hair up at this type of event. It was a calculated move. One she knew will impress her low expectation fans and tabloids. William and Kate tried to outdo Prince Harry and fell miserably. There's all of this. Did they? Okay, this I remember. I don't know about the rest, but whatever. Unfortunately, it's not a joke nor a satire. It's the UK news media apparatus' way of trying their idiotic ways of uplifting mediocrity while the world looks on and rolls their collective eyes. Most women with long hair or long wigs, extension know darn well how to tie hair without a what? Okay. Such a below ground level achievement for this Barbie, who supposedly has a uni degree. She really has no real accomplishment other than chasing that duller, drunk, incandescent raging prince. So this is such a big deal it makes headlines. Pathetic this is. I can tie my hair up without clips and don't even live in 4 taxpayers funded houses. It better be. If this is being glorified as an accomplishment, the monarchy is in even bigger trouble than the polls indicate. Like I've said in some past videos, the media is not for them. Okay? The media knows how to play. You see the thing that's going on in the US, and I just show you, I think it's in this video, what's happening in France. They doing this purposely. These are the same group. Okay? Self-destruct. Unbelievable. I'm gonna focus on these two here. And also, as predicted, British press leaked Harry's schedule meeting with Prince Charles. Let's look at this here. Photographers tipped off by the palace were waiting outside Clarence's house. Insiders confirm no corners were cut. Sandwiches, biscuit, and Harry's beloved chocolate biscuit cake were all laid out. As one source told me, quote, it was a proper tea, everything was there, end quote. A private reunion, yes, but also very deliberate theater. Charles signaled to the world that Harry was back under his roof, not a balcony return. Yeah, that freaking balcony. Yet, but the first step toward rehabilitation and a direct rebuke to William. What rehabilitation? Step toward rehabilitation. Who's the I don't know. It's unbelievable. Okay, so this was under this tweet here. That was the main tweet. Okay, so some of you were right. Harry did share his schedule. Was that you? Who's that here? Sig. Let's see here. I wasn't gonna go to all of this, but let's see here. That's the one I bookmarked. Yes, what confirmed it to me, to be honest, is the fact that Harry likely had a plainclothes police officer with him alongside his own security. That was the trade-off. Harry shares his schedule with Charles. Charles gave Harry a bit of security. It also explained why, for the first time ever, Harry was open about his event and allowed the media access. You could also just tell with Harry, he seems too much lighter, and I think that's because he felt safe. Okay, I don't know anything about this. So she's giving us her own opinion about the meeting here. You could pause and read the rest. Let's move on. Next week, UK media reports. Alright, so this one, wow, 4 minutes plus. ITV News, thirsty report. There's that on Prince Harry in London at Archwell's Award 2025. They really also thirsty for Harry to see bed Dad King Charles, despite normally relishing despite normally releasing writing headlines that Charles only gave him 10 minutes. Plus, the commitment to pushing that it is Harry that is the one not to be trusted as opposed to a bad and cruel dad King Charles is solid. But the thirst for a meeting is so real. Alright, let's listen to it. I don't want to go into the comments. Let's just listen to this. Almost 5 minutes.
Welcome back. Prince Harry is back in the UK and has made his first public appearance since losing his High Court legal battle over his royal protection. The Duke is here to attend the annual Well Child Awards tonight, a charity of which he is a patron. He also laid a wreath in Windsor to mark the anniversary of the death of his grandmother, the Queen. His brother and sister-in-law, Prince William and Catherine, were not far away, but it's not clear whether he'll meet them or the King, who's currently in Scotland. Here's our royal editor, Chris Shedd.
Every year since he left the royal family, Prince Harry dutifully travels from his home in California to London so he can support this charity awards event. The charity is Well Child, and it helps children with some of the most complex medical conditions. So on the 3rd anniversary of the death of his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, Harry was back in his home country, and for these families, he was making their go. Of course, he lives in California now.
Yeah.
He still comes back every year, doesn't he, to attend the event?
I think it's amazing. I really do. I think it shows how he's dedicated to the royal child and his role as patron.
Of course, every time he is back in the UK, there are questions about his family. Will he see them? Will any of them reconcile? The answer to that so far is not yet. King Charles, for one, is in Scotland on what's called Accession Day, reflecting on what happened 3 years ago when his own reign began. He was not seen today, but this was the King and Queen at the famous Braemar gathering on Saturday. Harry's brother, however, was much closer in proximity. Prince William and Kate were in Berkshire visiting the Women's Institute, an organisation very close to his grandmother's heart. It meant at one point today, when Harry made a private visit to the late Queen's grave in Windsor, the two brothers were just 8 miles apart, but meet they did not, and few expect they will this week.
As for his relationship with Prince William,
the relationship is space.
Back at the awards, Harry was chatting about siblings, but not his own.
The relationship is space.
There were no media interviews with Harry, but our cameras were allowed to film him chatting to one of tonight's award winners.
I've always said for many years that I still have a child inside of me, and I think all of us do. And being amongst these kids brings that out of me. I think out of all of the qualities that these kids have, without question, their resilience tops it all.
Harry is in the UK for another 3 days.
So, Chris, what are the chances of Harry meeting up with any member of the royal family this week, do you think?
Well, Geraint, I'll try and answer that as succinctly as possible. It's a possibility that they might meet. It's the one question that everyone, of course, wants to know. Will Harry see his father, the King? And actually, there are even some members of Harry's staff here who said they've been asked not to be told because they want to have that sort of plausible deniability whenever they get asked the question. Look, at the moment, the King is in Scotland. He's at Balmoral, marking, of course, what is a very important day in the royal family, Accession Day, 3 years ago, of course. At about this time, indeed, we got the announcement that Queen Elizabeth had died. Harry is in London now. He's in Nottingham tomorrow. So, yes, there's a geographical reason at the moment why the two can't meet. However, if you spin forward to Wednesday, perhaps Thursday, we think both the King and Prince Harry will be in London. And of course, they've been in London together at the same time before, and they didn't meet, but it's entirely possible. You would have heard Harry in an interview earlier this year saying he does want to reconcile. What it will come down to, Geraint, is whether or not the King thinks he can trust Harry, because he's worried any private information he might share with his younger son will then end up in a book or in a TV programme somewhere. So that issue of trust is crucial, but this week, yes, father and son might meet. The brothers, however,
Space.
definitely won't.
OK, Chris Shedd, many thanks.
Alright, so that's that. These are old news. I'm trying to catch up and share them with you. I don't know if some of you have already seen them. Alright, next one. I'm not even gonna go into the responses. Alright, so there's more reporting. Sky News, did I share that already? No, that's different. Sky News on Prince Harry visit to England and attendance at Well Child Awards 25. Rhiannon Mills report that Harry has been less secretive about his movement and wants to keep it positive. She says that they can get no information from his team over whether he will see his deadbeat dad, King Charles, or another member of his family. 3 minutes. All these are old, okay? I'm trying to catch up now, and I had put them on a list but never got a chance to record them, okay? Keep that in mind.
Prince Harry has paid respects to the late Queen during his visit to the UK. His visit, during which he's making a number of charity appearances, coincides with a series of events to mark the King's accession 3 years ago. And joining me now is our royal correspondent, Rhiannon Mills, who's watching Prince Harry on his return to this country. And tell us more about the visit, Rhiannon, and will he find time to see his father this time?
Oh, Mark, it is inevitable, these trips back to the UK, you're always going to have those questions about Harry's relationship with his family, specifically with his father, especially after he gave that interview in recent months saying that he hadn't had contact with the King for some time. What is really interesting, though, about this trip is that for Prince Harry and his team, they have been more open than they've previously been when he's come back here to the UK. It hasn't been shrouded in secrecy in the same way. And the one thing they keep stressing to me is that they want no negativity around this trip. Now, one of those visits they're hoping will kind of inject that positivity into this trip is his attendance here at the Well Child Awards, an amazing charity that helps some incredible young people, children who have some really complex medical needs. Prince Harry's been their patron for 17 years, and throughout all of the difficulties and that move away from America, he has consistently stayed loyal to the charity.
I will continue to be the same man who holds his country dear and dedicates his life to supporting the causes, charities and military communities that are so important to me.
And we've already had some pictures of him having an amazing time with the young people who were the finalists for tonight's awards. But as you said earlier, it's also a very poignant day for the family as well, for his family, as today marks the 3rd anniversary of the death of Queen Elizabeth II and also the start of King Charles's reign. We know, and again this is part of the new openness around Prince Harry, we know that he did go to Windsor where he laid some flowers as a mark of respect for the Queen, but also we know that that would have taken him even closer to where his brother William lives, and so far we don't think the two men have met up.
Space.
William also has done his own visit today, paying respects to Queen Elizabeth II, going to meet members of the Women's Institute, which we know that Queen Elizabeth was a member of for 80 years. But I think it is so fascinating what we're going to potentially see over the coming days. We know that Harry is likely to be in the UK for the rest of this week. The King today is up in Scotland to mark Accession Day. Whether or not he is going to make it back down to London to meet up with Harry, we are basically going to have to wait and see, because while Harry's team are very open that he's doing lots of charity work this week, that he's trying to stay positive, he's trying to be upbeat with this trip, the one thing they really don't want to talk to us about is whether or not he's going to see members of his family.
Okay, Rhiannon, thank you very much indeed. Time now for a look at some of the...
Okay, again, this is old. I'm sharing the news, what they were saying about Harry during his visit. Okay, I have 2 more and that will be it. Okay, so there's this. A royal reconciliation is happening. Prince Harry has arrived at Clarence House after reports he will meet with his father, the King, after more than a year and a half. 5 News royal correspondent, this person here, Simon Vigor, has the latest. Okay, only 58 seconds.
In the last few minutes, Prince Harry's car has arrived at Clarence House, just around the corner from here, where the King has been holding his meetings today. You can see pictures here of Harry's Range Rover arriving at Clarence House, where he used to live all of those years ago. So the answer to your question is the royal reconciliation is definitely happening. A year and a half, more than a year and a half since they last met, when the King was first diagnosed with cancer. He's still undergoing treatment for cancer. So more than a year and a half, his second son, Prince Harry, has arrived at Clarence House to meet with his father, the King.
Describes a strained relationship with the British press and members of the royal family, including his father, who he says at one point wouldn't pick up his calls.
After everything that has been said and done over the last 5 years and demands from apologies from both sides, Harry has arrived at Clarence House. We don't know how long this meeting is going to be. It was very short last time, about 30-40 minutes. We will see this time. But at least the breaking news tonight, Harry is meeting his father, the King. In the last few minutes...
Okay, it's playing over. Any more videos? That's that. Alright, next one, and this is my last one, okay? And then I'll be up to date to a certain extent with reporting on Harry's visit to the UK. Prince Harry has met with his dad, King Charles. This could get very interesting. Okay, 1 minute and 22 seconds. Screenshot.
Probably was planned, but neither of the offices have confirmed that this was going to happen, but rife speculation, they didn't deny it was going to happen, so all eyes really were on Clarence House. King Charles has been in Scotland, as he usually is at this time of year. He travelled back today. Prince Harry's been in London carrying out a whole load of different engagements. And then we saw King Charles going into Clarence House, his London residence, and then shortly afterwards we see Prince Harry going in. So they're currently both in the same building, we can say that much, but neither Buckingham Palace or the Sussex team are confirming that the meeting's taking place. I think we can assume that it is taking place. You may remember earlier in the year, Prince Harry gave an interview to the BBC where he said, I would love a reconciliation with my family. So he was keen to do this. Clearly the King is keen to see his son as well. Very fractious relationship between the two. Harry said in that interview that they haven't spoken in very long, in a long time, in months, so he doesn't know how the King is. The King has been having treatment, weekly treatment in London for his illness, his cancer. We don't know exactly what sort of treatment that is or how it's linked to the cancer, but they are together at Clarence House. So I think there's a lot of excitement about the fact that this could be the beginning of a reconciliation between father and son.
Alright, so that's that. Please take a moment to subscribe, like and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. I know I didn't comment too much on the videos. They old. I just wanted to share with you and also be up to date with what was going on last week. I didn't have that much time. Okay, so if anything from this point on, maybe okay, I'm done. Yeah, I cover everything. Anyway, so that is it. There was a time I was thinking maybe at one point I'll go on my likes and see what else that I missed, but it's all stories. Now we're focusing on what's gonna happen on September 21st regarding the Disney thing, just in case, to give you an idea. I think I covered on video 1, which is on PYTE, the birthday video of Harry. Alright, so let's see, let me grab one of the tweet video Disney, okay, just to give you a sense of where we are with this video. Alright, the Ukraine, Harry's visit to the US to the UK is done. So this is the next thing that we're looking forward to. Okay?
I am of all the magic.
They don't call it the happiest place on earth for no reason.
Prepare yourself.
We were just so
You're about to be blown.
Okay, so I believe as Sunday, September 21st, they're gonna be talking about that somewhere in the US. Where is it? ABC. Okay, so that is it. Prayer, let there be peace on earth. May God protect the innocent and get into the evil-minded people to stop with the nonsense that's in their head. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching.
Tanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life.